Jays. The Red Sox have won the first 2 games of this 3-game series. In the opener on Monday night, it was all about the hitters. On Tuesday, quite a different stories as the pitchers championed the night. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez along with Pat Tabler. And Pat, last night, Clay Buchholz and Sean Markham proved once again that good pitching will shut down good hitting.
Certainly after what we saw on Monday night with all the offense. And I guess what it shows when you have good pitching like Buchholz and Markham, there's more than one way to skin a cat when it comes to winning ball games. You can stick around for 4 hours and see 399 pitches. Red Sox score 13 runs for that win, and then in Game 2, under 3 hours, the pitchers were both very sharp. Clay Buchholz gets the win by giving up just 1 run.
The Red Sox have an awful strong starting rotation. Tonight it'll be the left-hander John Lester, 0-2, off to a slow start against Brett Cecil, trying to build upon a good start his first time out against the Rays.
I think the key for Brett Cecil was the Blue Jays scored 4 runs in the first inning against Matt Garza, and that gave him confidence to go out on that mound, stand tall, and start pumping fastballs right by some of these hitters. He had a good slider that day. You can see he had 8 strikeouts in the 6 2/3 innings that he pitched, and he also had a great changeup. When you can make a great hitter like Evan Longoria look like that on a changeup, you know your stuff is very good.
John Lester is truly one of the best left-handers in all of baseball. He's gotten off to a slow start, but his last time out is a good sign that he's about ready to turn things around.
When you talk to the Red Sox people, they say he's missing by just a little bit. He's just a little bit off. He doesn't have that good pinpoint control, but there's no question his stuff is so good. First 3 starts, not very good, but the last time out against Baltimore, showing signs of coming out of it.
Well, we mentioned the first 2 games of this series were both a 1-run contest, and it's really not that unusual with these 2 ball clubs. And for more on that, let's go down on the field and check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, a good measure of a team's success is its ability to win 1-run games. When you look at the American League games played that have been decided by 1 run, both the Red Sox and the Blue Jays are near the top of the list. The Red Sox with a 6-3 record, the Blue Jays 3-5. The teams last year that made it to the playoffs were at least 3 games over 500 in 1-run decisions. We'll see how it plays out here tonight.
Well, Sean Markham has been great all year long. He's pitched 7 innings in 4 of his 5 starts. Last night he cooled off a red-hot Red Sox team, but unfortunately Clay Buchholz was just a little bit better. first two games of this three-game contest, and Terry Francona's team has really done it both ways. They got a well-pitched game from their starter last night, Clay Buchholz, and on Monday night they pounded out 13 runs and 18 hits. Dustin Pedroia in the 2 spot in this series. He's 5 for 11. He's enjoyed one of the best starts the Boston Red Sox second baseman has ever had. He's hit 5 home runs in the month of April, most ever by a Red Sox second baseman.
That is the lineup that tonight's starter will face. Brett Cecil looks to follow up that strong outing versus Tampa Bay in his first start of the season for the Blue Jays. Brett picked up his first win, allowing 4 runs, pitching into the 7th inning against the tough Tampa Bay Ray team. He retired 14 of the first 15 batters before really tiring out a little bit. Struck out 8 batters, and I think the key for him, he issued just that one lone walk against Tampa Bay. So if you can get them to swing the bat here tonight also against the Red Sox, make them swing the bat, you're going to be very successful. The defense for the Blue Jays, Mike McCoy with a start in left field tonight. He'll be joined by Wells and Bautista. Johnny Mack with his 3rd start at third base. This is the right-handed hitting lineup that Cito Gaston sends out there. Tonight's battery, Brett Cecil will be throwing to Jose Molina, and what a job he did the last time we saw him behind the plate, throwing out base runners like you wouldn't believe.
One of the best efforts I've ever seen from a catcher. He did it against Tampa Bay, and he threw out some quality base stealers.
Yeah. How about Carl Crawford to start with? One of the best base stealers in the American League. Got him easily early. B.J. Upton was the next one to go down. That one was easy. Sean Rodriguez tries to do it again. And then for good measure, let's throw out Carl Crawford again. So 4 for 4. He's thrown out 7 base runners this year already. More than 27 teams in the major leagues already for Jose Molina. Good job behind the plate so far.
We'll say that again. Jose Molina has 7 caught stealings. That's more than 27 clubs in the majors. The entire club. He's 7 for 8. Terrific start to his season. Well, we're set to go here. Brett Cecil's finished his warm-ups, and getting ready to step in is the former Blue Jay, Marco Scutaro. Molina reminding his defense there's always a chance for a bunt here. First pitch strike, and this veteran lineup will make Cecil throw strikes. They're very patient, and they're looking for their pitch. They're going to challenge him to throw strikes early.
They're also very good 2-strike hitters. They foul off pitchers' pitches. Yeah, the thing for Brett Cecil is, we talked about it in the opening, how confident he was when he was out on the mound. You could just see it in his body language and the way he just went after the Tampa Bay Ray hitters.
Long drive, but foul down the left field line. Well, it makes you really relax. You made a great point about the 4-run cushion. Before he ever went to the mound, he was up 4-0 against Tampa Bay.
In a pretty good pitcher themselves with Matt Garza. There are his numbers in his career, just 2 starts against the Red Sox, and he has not had much success.
Jammed and knocked out of play. Another thing that's important to point out, in those 2 starts, he's given up 7 home runs to Boston. But I think we have seen it with all of these young starters because they got a little bit of exposure last year. They got their feet on the ground. They're much more confident, and they feel like they belong here in the big leagues this year.
Yeah, everybody has that adjustment period. I remember that first start that Cecil had in Boston against the Red Sox. He was pitching okay, and then all of a sudden the home run started coming, and it really looked like it shook him up a little bit. But he has taken that as a learning experience, and he looks much more confident this year.
Yeah, he's not the first pitcher that had that happen to him at Fenway. 2-2 to Scutaro. Line drive into left field, and that'll get down in front of Mike McCoy. Scutaro starts things off with a base hit to left.
Let's take a little closer look to tonight's starter for the Toronto Blue Jays, Brett Cecil. I think his fastball is very deceiving. He hides it well. He'll sink it, and it looks more like 93 or 94. He's got a swing and miss slider. When he's using it down and into right-handers, it can be a strikeout pitch, and he uses that split grip changeup, and he'll use it a lot to right-handed batters.
Dustin Pedroia Takes the first pitch strike. Pedroia's had a good series. 5 for 11 with a couple driven in. Average up over 300. Just off the outside corner, 1-1. Molina thought it was a pretty good pitch.
He does such a good job of framing that ball and bringing it back in. Not a lot of extra wasted motion from Molina when he's catching the ball. He's got very soft hands. Really takes control. You can see him looking into the dugout, looking for some signs of what they're going to do with a base stealer at first.
Fouled back, the ball on 2 strikes. Well, the running game, the signs for the running game come from the bench, and there's not too many catchers that handle the running game. Nick Leyva is the bench coach, and he will take care of the running game. We saw in Tampa Bay how he helped Molina with those base stealers, and there he goes through the signs, giving Molina slide step, throw over, pitch out, all the various plays to try to neutralize the running game. A ball and 2 strikes. Pedroia lays off an outside pitch.
The signs that he's giving them are not the signs of what the pitcher's supposed to be.
No.
It's what the pitcher is going to do.
It's the running game. Yep. It's not pitch selection by any means. But all of those different plays come from the bench. They have all the information. They've gone over the scouting report. On the ground toward the shortstop. Gonzalez to Hill for 1. Back to first. Not in time. Gary Cedarstrom, the first base umpire, had a good look at it, and Pedroia hustled down the line to beat it out.
Quick hands for Alex Gonzalez, but it looked like the throw handcuffed Aaron Hill a little bit at second base. Over the top with the throw. Watch where it is, right in the middle. It looked like he had just a little bit of trouble getting that ball out of his glove. And that allows the base runner, Pedroia, who doesn't take anything for granted, to beat it out.
Well, you know one thing, when Pedroia puts it in play, he's going to hustle down the line no matter what the situation is. So he's at first base now with 1 out. Victor Martinez, the DH tonight, will step in. Martinez was behind the plate last night. Up and away for a ball. There's a strike, 1-1.
So the play was a lot closer than we thought.
Looked like his foot was in the air as that ball was in the glove of Overbay, but obviously bang, bang play.
The umpire is listening. He is listening for the sound of the ball going into the glove, and he is also listening for the runner hitting the bag, and it's 2 distinctive sounds.
Yeah, it's a heavy thud on the bag and a pop into the glove, and you can truly tell the difference. So Pedroia's at first base, 1 out here in the first. Ball down. Again, we have talked about the patience of this Red Sox lineup. They're going to make you work. They're not going to swing at any borderline pitches, especially early in the game.
And they've been that way for a couple of years. And it's not just the punch and Judy type hitters. It's also the power hitters. Victor Martinez has a great eye on Euclid and Ortiz when he's in the lineup.
On the ground, Gonzalez to Hill to Overbay. There's the double play. The defense converts their 26th double play so far this year. Brett Cecil gets out of the first. Hill and Bautista, top of the order. Vernon Wells in this series, 5 for 9. He's hit 3 doubles and driven in a row. He is 1 home run shy of the 200 plateau. He is really starting to swing the bat well, and he's getting some help from Overbay, who's also starting to heat up behind him. Alex Gonzalez is shortstop. Randy Ruiz gets to start at the DH spot. Molina's behind the plate, and John McDonald's at third base.
John Lester makes the start for the Red Sox, trying to win for the first time this month. That's hard to believe with the stuff that he takes to the mound. He has a history of slow starts. He's looking to come out of it in his last start versus Baltimore. He actually left that game with the lead, and the bullpen coughed up 3 runs. But the Red Sox eventually won that game, and Lester got a no decision.
Jumps out ahead of Mike McCoy with a strike. Comes right back with a sinking fastball. 0-2. McCoy's in left field. This is his second start in left field this year. Cedar Gaston choosing to go with the right-handed hitter tonight. Overbay stays in the lineup. There's a breaking ball down and in.
He knows how tough John Lester can be on a left-handed hitter. When you look at some of the numbers that the hitters have put up against him. He was here last year when he struck out 12. Just dominant. He said, you know, it's just our left-handers are going to get a night off tonight. They don't have to face a tough guy like Big John Lester.
Off the plate inside at 96. You can see there's nothing wrong with John Lester. Comes into this game with a career 42-18 mark. That includes his 0-2 record this year, and he's pitched very well against the Blue Jays over his 9 starts.
You know, one of the best winning percentage ever to start a career.
3-2 to McCoy. He walked him. Good job by McCoy working the count, gets on base.
Scouting report for tonight's starter for the Boston Red Sox. John Lester, he's big and he's physical. He's built like a pitcher. Smooth mechanics. He'll cut and sink that power fastball. And the changeup is back. Brought it back last season. Didn't use it that much in 2008. Brought it back last year. Won 15 games. Pitched over 200 innings for the Red Sox last year. That's 2 years in a row that Lester has been able to do that for Terry Francona's team.
Outside to Aaron Hill. Hill in the second spot tonight. In last night's game, Hill was 1 for 4. Just starting to get going. Average slowly creeping upwards. McCoy's a threat to run at first. He's 3 for 3 in steals. Fastball on the corner. Lester has a good move. He really helps out his catchers. He keeps the runners close. On that last pitch, McCoy was actually bouncing back toward first.
Mike McCoy gets a first chance to look at John Lester. If you don't know him, get out there as far as you can and force him to throw the ball over to first.
There it is. Picked him off. Throw to second base, and McCoy is out. Just guessing on the first move, and that's what you got to do against a tough left-hander. But Lester went to first, and McCoy is erased.
There's 2 different types of leads when you don't know a pitcher. You can get the one-way lead where you get way out there and you're going back to first no matter what, even if he throws to home. Or you can get out there and go on first movement. He chooses to go on first movement, and it backfires on him.
So Lester eliminates that leadoff walk. Aaron Hill cuts and misses. A ball and 2 strikes. Just 5 games since coming off the DL. Hit a home run in his first game last Friday at Tampa Bay. Out in front of it, hits it into the seats down the left field line. Bottom of the first inning, there's no score. Brett Cecil came up a leadoff base hit to Marcos Scutaro, but Victor Martinez ended the inning with a double play to the shortstop. He struck him out. Fastball away, got him.
With great movement. 225 strikeouts last year, second to Justin Verlander in the American League in strikeouts per 9 innings. So you can see why with that great stuff that he throws up there.
Well, the biggest challenge for hitters against John Lester is he truly owns both sides of the plate.
He can run that cutter or that slider in on right-handers. Or he can do that, what he did to Aaron Hill, turn the ball over and get a strikeout.
Bautista hitting in the 3rd spot tonight against John Lester. There's that breaking ball in there for his strike. Good changeup. Great spot down and away. Lester out in front of ball and 2 strikes here with 2 outs in the 1st. Bautista's starting to really heat up ever since he's been moved out of that leadoff spot. A little more aggressive. He went after it. Strikeout. 2 strikeouts in for John Lester. A 1-2-3 first inning. He picked off Mike McCoy. We're scoreless after 1. Lester's got the strikeout pitch working.
Or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Top of the 2nd, Kevin Youkilis, the cleanup hitter, will face Brett Cecil. Youkilis 3 for 8 in the series. He was hitless in last night's game, 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. It's the first pitch off the plate outside. Ball 2.
Talking a little bit about pitching today with Kevin Youkilis, and he's talking about pitchers who've got great stuff. They can cut the ball and sink the ball. He was telling me that Roy Halladay, obviously, is the toughest pitcher that he has ever faced. And one of the reasons why is he's able to make the strike zone a little bit bigger than what it seems, because he can sink the ball in on you. So you got to be wary of that. He can cut the ball away from you. So you have to think about that. The way he saw Clay Buchholz pitch last night, it reminded him of the stuff that Halladay has.
That's a good comparison. Lots of movement toward the corner. Youkilis cuts on a 3-1 pitch and hits it toward right. Jose Bautista, just in front of the warning track, hauls it in for the first out. Buchholz was great last night.
Yeah.
He used his curveball very well. He pitched ahead, and twice he gave up back-to-back 2-out base hits, but never wavered. And was able to strand all 4 of those runners.
Sign of a young pitcher coming of age.
1 down now for J.D. Drew, the right fielder. Drew's had an RBI in this series, 2 for 7. Fastball on the corner.
That's one of the things that Brett Cecil did in that last start against Tampa Bay. He used all of his pitches, and he got ahead early. A lot of first pitch strikes.
And that allows and creates the attitude at home plate that you got to swing the bat.
Yeah.
So they start chasing borderline pitches.
Yeah, when you have as many pitches as he has, the slider, and he's been working on a cutter, just opens things up for you.
Missed upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes.
He was fooling around in spring training with the cutter, and he asked Brian Tallett, he said, hey, how do you throw your cutter? So the big lefty Tallett was showing him, and he really likes it. And he started adding it to his repertoire and his pitches, and it's really done wonders for him.
Yeah, and a lot of these young pitchers are starting to cut the ball just to take the ball off the barrel of the bat. 2-2 to Drew. Missed upstairs, 3-2.
If you're not really familiar with what a cutter is, it looks like a fastball coming out of the hand, and you usually keep it away from the batters like a left on left. It looks like a fastball on the outer end, and when you say it comes off the barrel, stays off the barrel, it just cuts just away just a little bit.
J.D. Drew is caught looking. The ball broke inside, caught the corner, and he walks away. Cecil crossed him up. First strikeout for Brett Cecil.
Well, he actually wanted the ball away, but it came over the inside part of the plate, one of those backup pitches where batters just freeze on it, and it's a strikeout.
2 down now, and the catcher Jason Varitek will stand in. Varitek did not play in last night's game. He started behind the plate in the opener and had a big night, drove in 4 runs. Terry Francona is trying to mix and match this lineup, figuring out how he can get this offense clicking. He's had to juggle some guys that have been regulars in the past, and it's been a challenging month for him.
One of the things that he has done is he started to bunch the hot hitters together. Pedroia, and Martinez, Euclid. Try and bunch them together to try scoring some runs.
Now, we mentioned their last 6 wins have all been 1-run victories, and it's kind of unusual for this Sox team. They're used to having those crooked number innings where they score 4 or 5 in an inning, and we saw that on Monday, but last night 2 runs is all they could come up with against the tough Sean Markham.
What was it on Monday night? They had 18 hits and no home runs?
Yep, no home runs. That's unusual. And there's a walk, a 2-out walk issued to Jason Varitek. So Veritek's aboard. That's Cecil issuing the free pass, and Adrian Beltre, the third baseman, will bat. Beltre's had a good series. He's 4 for 8, average up to 310, still looking for his first home run in a Red Sox uniform. Off-speed pitch just missed away. A ball and no strikes. There's a strike. Evens count at 1-1. Beltre looking at Cecil for the first time in his career, so I'm sure he wants to see a pitch or two just to get an idea about what he's up against.
Yeah, that's right. You can watch all the tape that you want, but you got to get a feel for him, what he's going to try and do to you.
Pushed him back off the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
Lester and Cecil faced each other in spring training. Both of them threw 5 innings, and both of them were outstanding, so I'm sure Beltre might have faced him for an at-bat or 2 down there. Up and away, just off the plate. 3 balls and a strike
2 outs here in the top of the second. Cecil retired the first 2 batters and then walked Jason Varitek. And now he's behind Adrian Beltre. In there for a strike. 3-2.
Very confident with the changeup to throw him a 3-1 changeup. It's one of the things that the minor leagues has instilled in these young pitchers, that they want them to throw at least 20% changeups every time they go out there, so they feel comfortable with it.
3-2 pitch. There goes Varitek. It's beaten foul into the Blue Jays dugout. Great philosophy. Make them understand that you're going to have to change speeds, because a lot of the talented pitchers in the minors can get by without using it.
That's why they were drafted, for that good arm for the most part. But you've got to learn to do it. Minor leagues are not about winning ball games. It's developing players.
Another 3-2 pitch to Beltre. Popped into right field. Bautista over near the line makes the catch. Brett Cecil walks a batter but strands Jason Varitek. We're scoreless middle of the second.
Jacoby Ellsbury and Mike Cameron on the bench, so Darnell McDonald, Bill Hall get the start in center and left. They'll be joined by J.D. Drew in the outfield. Third to first, Adrian Beltre, Marco Scruto, Dustin Pedroia, and Kevin Youkilis will form the infield. Jason Varitek, who had the night off last night behind the plate. And there is a Gold Glove first baseman who made some great plays in last night's ballgame.
Well, Kevin Youkilis does a terrific job. He's stationed at first base now with Beltre on the team. But, boy, when he was going back and forth, he did a great job. John Lester misses with the first pitch to Vernon Wells for a ball. Vernon Wells at .333. He's had a good series, 5 for 9 in the series against Boston. Boy, that ball is absolutely dropping. That's that sinking fastball that he just overpowers.
It's moving all over the place. Just watch how a very good catcher, Jason Varitek, is trying to catch it.
Up and away. 3 balls and no strikes to Wells, leading off the second. Well, I tell you what, you can really see the finish on his pitches. I mean, it's getting there about 5 feet in front of home plate and then just pounding into the glove of Varitek.
Got that second gear.
3-1. Base hit toward the gap. That's got a chance to get to the wall. It does, all the way to the wall. Vernon Wells around first into second base, and he'll hold up there. All 3 games in this series, Wells has started off with a double.
Number 11 on the season. Get on top of that fastball and drive it. Good quick hands to be able to get on top of that fastball and hit it between McDonald in Hall, and he knows he has extra bases. About right there, I thought he was thinking 3, but then said, I'm already in scoring position.
11th double on the season, 4th in this series against Boston. Leadoff double. Jays an opportunity to break on top. Lyle Overbay, the only left-handed batter in the lineup. Takes a pitch inside for a strike right on the corner. Slowly but surely, the average creeping up. He was 0 for last night with a walk, but he had 3 hits in the opener on Monday. On the right side, that'll move Wells over to third. Euclid to Lester, and Overbay has a productive at bat. Wells moves up.
Just get it to the right side. You're trying to get a base hit, but somehow pull that ball, which he does, and he moves Vernon Wells up 90 feet for Alex Gonzalez.
Well, you're in tough against all major league pitchers, but a guy like John Lester, you got to take advantage of early scoring opportunities. Gonzalez has played behind Lester, but he's not hit against him. 1 out, Wells at third. Off the plate inside. Many pitchers will light up the radar gun at 94, 95, but Lester seems to do it with ease.
Well, the thing about him is he's got that nice, easy wind-up. Stays compact. And the ball just seems to just explode out of his hand. As a hitter, when you see those kind of pitchers who are nice and fluid and stay together and all of a sudden, boom, the ball's on top of you, it seems like they're throwing a lot harder than what they really are.
Lester's behind Gonzalez, 2 balls and no strikes. Cut on and fouled into the glove of Veritek. The one thing that Lester has is the ability to strike hitters out. He had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. But Gonzalez puts the ball in play on anywhere in the infield, and he's going to drive in Wells from third. Ben's back from a breaking ball. 3 balls and a strike. We're scoreless here in the second. Vernon Wells with the leadoff double. Moved to third on the ground down. Fisted out of play. You and I were both right-handed hitters, so obviously when we faced left-handers, it was always kind of a good feeling. I get the feeling that John Lester's not too comfortable.
You know who he reminds me of? Jim Abbott. Remember when Jim Abbott was in his prime with the Angels and the Yankees, threw a no-hitter? He had that barreling fastball in on your hands if you're a right-handed batter.
3-2 to Gonzalez. Good late cut. Spoil a good pitch.
Had that nice, easy wind-up, and I remember facing him here with the Blue Jays, and I got a start, one of my 2 or 3 of that year, and I kept backing off the plate, knowing he's going to throw that cutter in on my hands, and for the first 3 times up, he broke all 3 of my bat. And I said, okay, I quit. This guy's just too tough. Yeah. Lester is a lot like that on right-handers.
Yeah, that's the feeling I get watching Lester work. It just you don't see too many right-handers that really feel comfortable against him. Gonzalez with a 3-2 count. Wells at third base. He struck him out. He went upstairs with the fastball, and he bounced all the way back from 3-0 to strike out Alex Gonzalez.
Great strikeout ratio. You can see why. He can get you out in so many different ways. High fastballs, cutters it. Last year, he was the first Sox left-handed pitcher to strike out 200 batters in a season. That's saying something.
2 down now for Randy Ruiz. getting the start tonight in the DH spot. Takes a breaking ball down and in. Vernon Wells with a very aggressive secondary lead down there is hopeful maybe a ball in the dirt, something that squirts away from Varitek just far enough to take advantage of it. There's another ball close but gloved by Varitek. 2 balls and no strikes. No score here in the second. Blue Jays, he only hit the Wells double to start the inning. Breaking ball inside.
Scouting report. 2-0 breaking ball.
Well, he's got so many weapons, he can throw just about anything. 3-0 now to Ruiz. Green light, fisted out of play.
Yeah, he knows that Randy Ruiz can hit a fastball. He can turn around a fastball. Saw him do that against A.J. Burnett last year in Yankee Stadium. So it doesn't matter how hard you throw it, Ruiz can hit it.
.95 upstairs, and he's a little late. 3-2. Going to battle and put it in play here if you can't take advantage of Wells down at third. John Lester with 3 strikeouts early on. 3-2 to Ruiz. Fouled it back. Interesting how different these first 2 games were. The first game, 25 runs on 34 hits, and last night just 3 runs in the entire game. Testimony to how starting pitchers like Markham and Buchholz can really shut down even red hot teams. 3-2 again. Breaking ball. Got a piece of it.
Stay alive for another pitch. That was the strikeout pitch that John Lester wanted, but Ruiz spoiled him. He might reach back now for a little bit extra.
Another 3-2 pitch to Ruiz. He got him. Little extra on the fastball indeed. John Lester, 4 strikeouts early on. Gives up the leadoff double to Vernon Wells. All-Star Game will be in Anaheim on July 13th. You can vote for your favorite Blue Jays players, Vernon Wells, Aaron Hill, and Adam Lim. Cast your votes at BlueJays.com, or you can pick up a ballot at the ballpark and vote for your players there. Fans are allowed to vote for a maximum of 25 times per email address. Vote early, vote often, and vote for your Jays. Bill Hall will bat. Start things off here in the third inning. Cuts on the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Bill Hall started in the opener, did not play in last night's game. As Pat mentioned, the outfield has been shortened by injuries. There's a fastball at the knees.
Jacoby Ellsbury means so much to this team because he brings the one ingredient that they're missing right now.
Speed.
Speed.
Yep. Speed and outfield defense as well. I mean, the fact that he can play left field, he's a center fielder playing in left. 0-2. Right field. Bautista retreats, turns his back to the infield on the warning track, reaches for it. It's off the wall. Bill Hall's around first, headed for second. Ball coming back into the infield, then Hall will stop with a leadoff double. Bautista turned and got back to the warning track, but it hit beyond his reach up against the wall and right.
Yeah, the ball just took off on him. 0-2, they're trying to waste one away, and Bill Hall is very strong. Rips this ball. Bautista, who's been playing third base for about a week now, cannot get back. It bangs off the wall, and Bill Hall has his first extra base hit of the season.
Bautista was in right field all throughout batting practice, taking balls off the bat, trying to get reacclimated with right. Darnell McDonald, the number 9 batter, with Bill Hall at second. Tries to bunt and pushes it foul. Two home runs since being called up from Pawtucket. This is McDonald's first year in the organization. He had a homer and a walk-off hit in his first game for the Red Sox. That's a pretty dramatic start.
And he did it at home and became a hero.
You see John McDonald, a third baseman, going back to his position, and he's going to play in front of the bag, anticipating the bunt. Will angle his body to keep an eye on the base runner. McDonald swings and fouls it back into the glove of Molina.
That's such a helpless feeling when you're at third base and you're thinking about the batter, who is a right-handed batter, is going to lay down and bunt, and you start creeping in and he swings away.
Just hope he pops it up.
Yeah, or hit it to somebody else because you're about 80 feet away.
0-2 again. Hall had an 0-2 count when he went opposite field for the double. Cecil's ahead of McDonald. On the ground, Hall will have to hold at second. Gonzalez retires McDonald. Molina out to give Cecil more instructions here as Scudero gets ready to step in. Let's check in quickly with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, after watching Bautista play that Bill Hall ball off the wall, one thing Cito Gaston expressed concern over was the throw that Bautista would have to make from right field and how it differs from that playing third base. Pat, I know you played both positions. How much of a difference is there?
There's a big difference. On the infield, you really got that short, quick, snapping throw that you make from the infield. In the outfield, you have to get the arm up, and you've got a longer throw. One of the things that you want to look out for when you're moving players from the infield to the outfield are them coming up with sore arms.
Bill Hall is off and running. No chance at all for Molina. Bill Hall got a running start to third. Red Cecil forgot all about him, and that just really makes Darnell McDonald happy. He didn't get the job done, but Hall stole third.
Yeah, it picks up his teammate by, like you said, getting a running start. He timed it perfectly out there at second base. Really no chance for Molina to throw him out. Watch him just as soon as Brett Cecil turns his head, he takes off. And now Cito Gaston knows how hard it is to score a run against John Lester, so he brings the infield in to try and cut off this run at the plate.
Popped up. Scudero fouls it back out of play. Now, there's a perfect example of a young pitcher not really being able to slow the game down. The situation is you get one out. Runner still at second base after the double. And then he forgot all about the base runner. If he takes one more look back at Bill Hall, out. Hall's a dead duck. Hall's at third base with the steal, his third of the year. Scudero, a 1-1 count. Takes upstairs, ball 2.
You know, take that and file that and remember that, so when the situation comes up again, and it will, you'll have a better understanding of what is needed to be done.
Well, and truly, the pitcher sets the pace of the game. He's got the ball in his hand. He just has to make sure that he controls the tempo. Popped up. Drifting into foul territory, John McDonald retires Scudero. Big out. Cecil made a good pitch and got Scudero to pop it up. Now regroup, think about the next challenge, Dustin Pedroia.
Right, you're not out of it just yet because you got to face probably their hottest hitter.
Two outs. Runner at third base. First pitch strike. Went with the changeup. Oh, 0-2. Got him to expand the zone.
Something out in the way. You know, it made perfect sense for Terry Francona to use one of his hotter hitters in Pedroia, who got off to a great start, put him in that number 3 hole. But Pedroia said, I just didn't feel comfortable there. I just felt like there was a little bit more pressure. He went 1 for 18, and when Terry Francona moved him back into the number 2 hole, he has gone off. 8 for 19, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs. He scored 6 runs. Feeling a lot more comfortable in the number 2 slot.
0-2. Right in on the fist. He really threw a good pitch there, and Pedroia spoiled it. Top of the third inning, we're still scoreless. Dustin Pedroia batting with 2 outs, and Bill Hall at third base. Hall started the inning with a opposite field double off Brett Cecil. Fly ball into center field. Wells on the run, and he'll make the catch. Brett Cecil gets out of the inning. Both clubs wasting a leadoff double. Beautiful night in Toronto. We're scoreless. from any Jay's shop location and receive a free flash drive. Get a chance to take that, put some of your Jay's ballpark pictures on it for memories, and it's an offer you can't pass up. Offer valid while supplies last. Check in with Jay's Shops. It's the official shop of the Blue Jays. Jose Molina, the catcher, bat for the first time, takes a good cut at a fastball. No score here, bottom of the third inning. Both clubs have wasted leadoff doubles. Vernon Wells had a leadoff double in the second. He was stranded at third. Bill Hall did the same in the third. He too was stranded. Pretty good job of pitching by both Lester and Cecil.
Brett Cecil a little bit better because remember Bill Hall was at third base with less than 2 outs, so he needed a pitch and a plate appearance where Marco Scudero, who's pretty good about getting runners in from third base with less than 2 outs, not advancing him, and he made a good pitch on him.
(2-1) to Molina. Hits sharply at Scudero on a couple of hops. Molina's retired.
We talked earlier today about the success that John Lester has had over the last couple of years, and he ranks right up there with a lot of the elite left-handed pitchers in the American League. 31 wins coming into this game, second only to Joe Saunders of the Los Angeles Angels, who has 33. Winning percentage is outstanding. Strikeouts is #1. He has put together 2 great seasons of 15 wins and 200 innings pitched 2 years in a row now.
John McDonald takes a first pitch strike from Lester. Lester was third in the American League in strikeouts a year ago behind Justin Verlander and Zach Greinke. Missed with a changeup away. When you talk about John Lester, I mean, you can put him in the category as one of the best all time early in his career as far as getting off to a great start. We mentioned 42-16 coming into this season. McDonald cuts on an outside pitch. You look at his winning percentage, that's .724. That's better than Spud Chandler, Tim Lincecum, the fellow that pitched in the 1900s, and Sam Lever and the great Whitey Ford. That's a pretty impressive winning percentage early in his career. McDonald fouls off a tough pitch to stay alive. A ball and 2 strikes on the Blue Jays third baseman, John McDonald. Breaking ball. Pulled foul. Did you get pumped up to face the better pitchers?
Yes.
Yeah, always the cream of the crop. You wanted to face him.
Randy Johnson comes to mind. I mean, dominant left-hander, one of the most dominant lefties of our generation. I loved facing him. You know, I wanted to see that slider. I wanted to be able to say that I got a base hit off of Randy Johnson.
On the ground toward third. Beltre wide of third base, throws to Euclid, and McDonald's retired. They're 2 down.
You know, I think all the players do the same thing. You know, when you get a chance to face some of the elite pitchers in the American League, you want to get out there, you want to grab a bat and say that you've had some success against them.
Yeah, if you strike out against John Lester or Randy Johnson, it's no big deal. Everybody else does.
Yeah.
But if you get a hit,
yeah,
and you're in a special group.
Nolan Ryan comes to mind.
Yeah.
That was something special facing him.
Mike McCoy trying to keep things going here in the third. Good swing at the first pitch. John Lester, Brett Cecil, starters here tonight. Pours that fastball right in there. 0-2. 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Outside corner. paints the block with the fastball. His 5th strikeout through 3 innings. He's got the fastball, he's got the curveball, and he's got location. Down and away gets McCoy. The early part of this ball game. Last night it was Clay Buchholz and Sean Markham. Tonight it's Brett Cecil and John Lester. So far, not a lot of the hitters are having too much fun tonight.
Yeah, not a lot of them are squaring them up. Vernon Wells was the only one for the Jays first time through.
Cecil misses with an off-speed pitch down to Victor Martinez. Martinez hit into an inning-ending double play in the first. Up and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Brett Cecil is in his 4th professional season. He was drafted by the Blue Jays in the first round, supplemental pick, 38th pick overall in 2007. Martinez lines it to center. Wells is there and he makes the catch. So Cecil has come quickly through the organization. He had in 17 appearances last year, 17 starts and 18 appearances last year.
He was a closer while he was in college at the University of Maryland.
Yeah, he was the 9th inning guy in college. It's kind of surprising that, you know, he's been able to make the transition to the starting role.
Jays moved him into the starting rotation after they signed him back in 2007.
A little cutter and had Euclid top it foul. Go ahead. I think the interesting thing is these pitchers like Romero and Mills and Cecil and Zebchinski all got their feet on the ground last year.
Yeah, they came through the organization very quickly, and they got up here with all the injuries that the Blue Jays had last year. I forget the number, how many pitchers we went through, 25, 26, something like that. And they got their feet wet, and they got a little bit of taste of Major League Baseball, what it takes to be successful. Pitched well enough in spring training to make the ball club, but it became just a numbers game.
No swing, says Gary Cederstrom down at first, and Euclid has done that a couple of times in this series where he's checked his swing, and umpires have backed him up.
He has that ability. You see how he throws his hands at the ball, but the barrel of the bat stays behind the plate.
I thought he might have gone after that one. He went a little far on that one. 2-2 pitch from Cecil. He strikes him out. Good bounce back pitch for Brett Cecil. Comes right back at him and gets Kevin Youkilis.
Throws the exact same pitch that he threw the previous time. He got the check swing on the changeup. Comes right back to it. You can see the grip that he has, and that one dives down the lower half of the strike zone. Good pitch.
2 up, 2 down here in the fourth. J.D. Drew lays off a curveball. Drew was called out on an inside pitch his first time up. Quickly, let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Oh, Buck, I think Bruce Walton put it best when talking about the maturation process. He says, we can teach guys how to throw, we can teach them certain pitches, prepare them for hitters, but we can't teach them what it's like to play in the big leagues. You have to touch the stove yourself, and those guys all got the chance to do that last year.
That's a great point, Sammy, because when you get out there, obviously things change dramatically. Just the excitement, the adrenaline flow, you have to really get a feel for it. We've seen Ricky Romero probably make the quickest and biggest adjustment of any of these youngsters early on.
I remember him last year, Ricky Romero. He almost didn't make this club. Got off to a terrible start in spring training and then really found it about halfway through, and he's an ace. He has got tremendous stuff.
3-1 to J.D. Drew. In there for a strike, 3-2. Now, I don't care how talented you are, it takes you a while to adjust to the demands and the routine of playing in the big leagues. Brett Cecil, full count to Drew. Lifted toward left. Mike McCoy on the warning track, but he's going to have room and hauls it in. 3 up, 3 down for Brett Cecil in the fourth. Still scoreless here at the Rogers Center. Tomorrow on the web, 1 p.m. Second baseman Aaron Hill will stand in against John Lester. Takes the first pitch strike. Big breaking ball Hill has to jump back from. Lester, 26 years old. And if you're not familiar with the story, he has gone through cancer treatment. He was diagnosed with cancer in 2006. Sinker that gets him there. But that knocked him out of the season, obviously. It was late in August, missed the rest of the season. And then, of course, he went through all of the treatments and took him a while. But we're happy to say he's been cancer-free. And you can see he's got his strength back. But it's a great story. A ball and 2 strikes on Hill. Outside, 2-2.
He pitched the clinching game in the World Series.
2007, Game 4 against Colorado. Quite a triumphant return. 2-2 to Hill. Lifted into center field. Darnell McDonald moves to his right. And he makes the play. There's one out here in the 4th.
It's hard to believe that 30 teams passed on him in the draft. He was a number 2 draft pick by the Boston Red Sox, so some teams passed on him twice. Back in 2002, a 2nd-round draft pick.
Right fielder Jose Bautista. Batting 3rd tonight. Makes the first pitch curveball in there. Now that's the beauty of scouting. You have experienced scouts that can quote unquote project. Look at a guy like John Lester and say, well, he's going to fill out first of all. He's a left-hander. He's got good size. And yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand how you could pass up on a guy that's that dominant. But it gets down to the region where they're from. He's from the Washington area. You know, you don't relate that to real top-notch baseball prospects. Wow, that was ripped into the seats.
The Washington State area.
Right.
You know, which the Northwest.
Up in the Northwest, and, you know, it's challenging to see baseball. It rains a lot in the spring, and you might not get to see a kid play all the time. But it would be easy to miss a guy like John Lester. Red Sox are glad they didn't.
Gary Rasich.
0-2.
Gary was the scout that signed him. Isn't he with the Blue Jays now?
I'm not sure if he is or not.
I saw him in Texas. I thought he said, hey, I'm with you guys now. I thought he said that. I hope he did, because he can go find another John Lester.
And there's a lot of guys that can say that now. Hey, I'm with you guys now. A lot of new scouts have signed on. Ball down. A ball and 2 strikes to Bautista, batting here with 1 out. But that's the importance of scouting, and certainly the Blue Jays are in a position to really take advantage of it.
Yes.
I believe they have 9 picks in the first 100. A very important draft. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Deep but foul down the left field line. Quite a battle going on here.
Yeah. Jose Bautista has not hit in the 3rd slot all that much in his career. But so far, he looks pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat so well right now. I don't think it would make any difference where he's hitting. Spoils another good pitch. Veritek acknowledging that's where he wanted it to Lester, nodding his head, saying, yep, just throw it right there. You're not going to get hurt with that pitch. Down the right field line, but it's going to slice out of play. Well, Bautista has covered just about everything that Lester featured in this at bat.
Yeah, slider on the inner half, breaking ball. He's tried a couple of times to put fastballs on the outer half, and he's had some swings to keep his at bat alive. You get the 2 strikes, just look for the ball.
Into center field. McDonald's in, and he stops and makes the catch on the line out. So Lester won that long battle. 2 outs here in the 4th. Vernon Wells, the only batter who solved John Lester here early. He smoked the double into the gap in left center. Boy, that's that good cutter right in on his hands, and you've explained the impact of the cutter, and there was a perfect example of it.
You go and swing, and it looks like a pitch that's right down the middle. And next thing you know, it's underneath your handles of the bat, and you're fouling it down.
Turn that ball over, down and away.
Vernon Wells has had great success against the Boston Red Sox in his career. 27 times he has hit a home run. It's the second highest total versus any team. Most home runs that the Red Sox have given up to one player. And I think one of the reasons why is they have a lot of hard throwers. And Vernon Wells can turn around anybody's fastball.
Yeah, it's got to be a good feeling for Vernon now, knowing that he's healthy again and he doesn't have to commit so early. We've seen him hit some good pitches hard. Now that that wrist is healthy and he can sit back and trust his hands. 2-1. Fouled at the plate. 2-2.
And everybody knows that's where you generate your power, with your hands. When you have a good short swing and you hit the ball out in front, that's where the power is. You've got to create backspin on the baseball.
Lester set 2-2 to Wells. Down and in, he laid off. Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, with the safe sign. Vernon Wells in select company, moving up the franchise leaderboard on home runs. Just one away from 200 and three behind George Bell. And four behind Joe Carter. Going to move up quickly. 3-2 to Vernon Wells. Struck him out. Down and in, wicked pitch. 6 strikeout for John Lester. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. John Lester. Of TD Canada Trust. Good to see Paul here in the ballpark. Former Blue Jay left-handed pitcher. Pitched for the Canadian Olympic team, Canadian national team. Enjoying the big comfy chairs tonight. Mason Verta cuts on a first pitch changeup. We're in the 5th. It's scoreless. Only 3 hits in the ball game. 2 by the Red Sox, 1 by the Blue Jays. Popped up right side of the diamond, now into foul territory. Overbay makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down.
I'm impressed with Brett Cecil. He's a different type of pitcher this year. This is the first time I've had a chance to watch him this year. as opposed to last year. He looks more confident. He's standing up taller. He's attacking the strike zone with all of his pitches. He just looks like he belongs. Last year there were times where he'd get rattled. Red Sox game comes to mind where they hit him pretty hard. He would get rattled, and you could just see it in his face that he didn't know what to do, where to go to get the outs. Not so this year.
Good off-speed pitch. 0-2 on Beltre. That's a great point, and I think, as we've said, we've seen it. Ricky Romero, Brett Cecil. We've seen it with Markham, who's healthy again. Certainly Markham has much more experience than the two young left-handers, but we saw it with Mark Szepczynski in the spring. David Percy got another year under their belt. Just a little better sense of the fact they belong. Just outside.
A lot of times with young pitchers, they don't know what they can do to get themselves out of trouble. They aren't familiar enough with themselves or with what they throw. What can I go to get guys out in big situations?
He fisted Beltre there, who fights it off. That's a great point, because they haven't had the experience to be able to pitch out of those situations.
And pitching in the minor leagues is so much different than pitching up here. Up here they've got film, and they've got scouts, advanced scouts, everything you want to know to try and stop you.
Struck him out. Another off-speed pitch, and a good one. Third strikeout for Brett Cecil. 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
Great arm action on that off-speed pitch. Totally had Adrian Beltre out in front and confused. Look at the grip. That's a change-up. Throw it like a fastball and let the ball do the rest.
Wow, the bottom dropped out of that thing. 2 down, Bill Hall. Cuts at the first pitch and misses. And another thing we have seen here is the fact that because he's throwing so many strikes, the normally patient Red Sox have expanded, and they're aggressive early in the count. 0-2. Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, I think another thing you have to give credit to is the fact that he's gone to the glasses. He's tried a couple of different things with contact lenses, and he's tried the regular glasses, but these prescription Oakley glasses have really helped him to see the strike zone. We saw him struggle with that last year.
0-2 to Bill Hall. Weak swing fouled into the seats. Well, anytime you're having trouble, I don't care if you're a hitter or you're a pitcher, and you just kind of can't focus on your target or the task at hand, it'll be a distraction.
He was really squinting a lot last year and says contacts just don't feel right when I'm pitching.
Bounced that one in the dirt.
Just doesn't like putting him in for the games. It really didn't help him. Now with these glasses, he looks mean.
Well, I just think, again, it's about the confidence. It's about feeling you belong, and it's a pretty familiar atmosphere now with so many young players on this team. Another defensive swing by Hall as he stays alive. I'll throw something at you, too. Now, because the young starters are all basically lumped in the same kind of group, they don't have that intimidation of Roy Halladay looming over their head. They're bunched in this together. 1-2 to Bill Hall. Off the plate, 2-2.
Trying to do something that you might not be capable of doing.
Yep. You know, Halladay, truly one of the premier pitchers in all of baseball, and it's hard to meet up to those standards. Now he's run the count to 3-2. So I think this club likes the challenge of trying to grow as a group, get better together, learn how to win. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Red Sox batting here in the 5th. Fouled out of play. We are scoreless. Brett Cecil, John Lester hooked up in a good battle.
Another full count pitch. Popped up on the infield. John McDonald, the third baseman. 3 up, 3 down for Brett Cecil. He's retired 9 in a row. We're still scoreless. Montreal Impact at Toronto FC going on right now. But if you like shutout pitching, we've got a heck of a duel here with John Lester against Brett Cecil. We're scoreless, bottom of the 5th inning. Well, Overbay ducks away from an inside pitch. That one sounded like it hit him.
Yeah. Sounded like maybe it scraped his uniform.
A ball and no strikes on Overbay. Overbay had a good at bat in his first at bat. Advanced Vernon Wells from second to third. That ball was popped back out of play. Baratek never saw it. John Lester was trying to help him out, but it didn't make any difference. It was way back into the seats. But Overbay with Wells at second pulled the ball on the right side to move Wells over to third with just 1 out. But then John Lester struck out Gonzalez and Ruiz to leave Wells at third. Breaking ball on the outside corner. 1-2. Breaking ball down. He laid off 2-2. Overbay trying to get something going here in the 5th. Sharply on the ground, but right at Pedroia. Overbay's retired. Ten straight retired by John Lester, going back to the Wells double in the second.
When he is on, he'll get as many ground ball outs as fly ball outs. Tonight, that ratio is about right. Mixing some strikeouts, and you got a great pitcher's duel.
Alex Gonzalez takes the first pitch strike. Brett Cecil has retired 9 in a row himself. And they have both really done a good job here in the middle innings. Oh, 2.
He's got Alex Gonzalez talking to himself.
Now, there's a lot of hitters talking to themselves tonight. And how many 0-2 counts have we had on both sides? Both pitchers have pitched ahead all night long. He went around. Another strikeout. 7 strikeouts now for John Lester. He's pitching ahead. He's finishing off good pitcher counts.
And he's doing it different ways with the cutter, the slider. This looked like a curveball. Went down. Good job by Varitek to smother that ball and keep it in front of him to record the out.
Randy Ruiz, a strikeout victim his first time up. Just off the plate inside. Sharply on the ground. Scudero with the backhand is going to use the turf and bounces the ball to Euclid to retire Ruiz. 12 straight retired by John Lester. Scoreless after 5. Both been great.
Matched up, Cecil gave up a leadoff single to Scudero. He was wiped out by the double play. Got a leadoff double from Bill Hall. He's stranded there at third base, so he is pitched out of trouble. John Lester's only given up 1 hit. That was the double to Vernon Wells. And he pitched out of trouble. 7 strikeouts for Lester. His career high is 12, and he did it right here against the Blue Jays last year.
Number 9 batter, Darnell McDonald. We'll start the 6th. Cuts on the first pitch. That ball's got a chance to split the gap, and it's going to all the way to the wall in left center. McDonald around first. Wells hustles it back in, and another leadoff double. Darnell McDonald with his 2nd double of the season.
Well, they know that Brett Cecil is going to be around the plate. He has done it all night, so McDonald doesn't waste any time. Fastball, he misses his spot by just a little bit. McDonald is able to reach out and pull that ball against that auxiliary scoreboard in left center field for a leadoff double.
Now you have to look for the bunt. Scudero, similar situation in the 3rd. Trying to move the runner along.
And the team leader in sacrifice hits this year, Marco Scudero.
Showing bunt, pulls the bat back, snap throw to second, and McDonald is back. So the Blue Jays were anticipating the bunt. Molina trying to catch McDonald through behind the runner.
That's one of the toughest plays for a base runner. The runner at second base and a batter bunts through a ball. You can get caught out in no man's land. Heads up play by Molina to know that and try and pick him off at second.
1 ball, no strikes. Here comes Overbay down from first. Swings away. Base hit into center field. McDonald coming to third. He's going to get the stop sign. Wells to the cutoff man, Overbay. So runners at the corners with nobody down.
Second hit of the night for Marco Scutaro. Terry Francona takes off the bunt. He shows it early, and then as Cecil starts to wind up the throw, pulls it back and slashes the ball into center field. Red Sox have something going here. McDonald's got to make sure that ball gets down. Wells came hard to charge it. 1-2 hops, and they've got to hold the runner.
Well, Scutaro with a sharp single into center. Now Pedroia will bat with runners at first and third. Pedroia popped up, lined out to center field with a runner at third base to end the third. McDonald at third. Scutaro at first. Off the plate inside for a ball. Again, this is where the maturation is important. Just kind of take it one step at a time and don't let things spin out of control.
And I like where he went with his first pitch. Go inside. Maybe you get an anxious Dustin Pedroia and he jams himself and hits to the third baseman and he can't score that run.
Into center field. This should be deep enough. McDonald's tagging at third. The throw will go into second. And the Red Sox have scored the first run of the night. Darnell McDonald with the leadoff double comes in to score on the sac fly.
Fourth time this year that Dustin Pedroia has been able to score that runner from third base in less than 2 outs with a sacrifice fly.
All you got to do in that situation is think about a big part of the field and just hit it deep enough. Textbook execution by Pedroia. Picks up his 16th RBI of the season. 1-0 Boston. Now Scutaro at first with Martinez. You've got to make sure you stop Scutaro. Might be a great time to play hit and run just after you score the first run of the game.
And you get a young pitcher thinking about something else. Marco Scutaro loves to get one of those walking leads over at first base. You've got to make him stop. If you're Brett Cecil, watch, he just comes off like nothing's happening. You got to make him stop. Good job. Get him back over to first base.
Well, and that's what we talked about with Nick Leyva. He's the bench coach. He's very familiar with Scutaro, so he'll give him the old throw over there and let's get him back to first. 1 out here in the 6th inning. The Sox have scored a run on the sac fly. Ball was up. Like a pretty good pitch, and there's Leyva really studying the coach and looking at Scutaro, see if Scutaro might tip his hand. Cut on and foul back. 1-1 on the Red Sox DH, Victor Martinez. Leyva with that stopwatch in his hands. That's to check on the release time of Brett Cecil, make sure he's not slow to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cut on and foul back into the glove of Molina. A ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays have turned 1 double play tonight. That was with Martinez at the plate. Came in the 1st inning. Popped up right side, and that's going to fall into the seats.
You make a pitch against Victor Martinez and you'll have a double play. He has hit into 8 of them already this year.
Martinez was the catcher in last night's game. He singled to right in 4 trips. 0 for 2 tonight. Brett Cecil working with 1 out here in the 6th. Another pop back. Doing a good job of getting Martinez out of that front foot.
Yeah, he's a good hitter too. And he has that ability to foul off pitches. The advantage, though, goes to the hitter the longer you go into an at-bat. He has a chance to see a little bit of everything that the pitcher has. Martinez, his last time up, stung the ball to center field for an out.
Just missed down and away. Two-two count now. This might be an opportunity for Scudero to create some movement. Break for second. See if he can't open up a hole for Victor Martinez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not going. Popped up left side. All right, Gonzalez back now. McCoy calls for it and makes the catch. 2 down. Cecil in on the hands of Martinez, gets the pop up to left.
I think he got Victor Martinez leaning out over the plate, looking for something off speed again, and he crossed him up and came inside.
Cecil got a good hitter. Now he has to deal with another. Kevin Youkilis, 0 for 2 tonight. Breaking ball in for a strike. You just have to wonder whether Scudero is anchored at first with Jose Molina behind the plate, given the fact Molina has thrown the ball so well.
And Brett Cecil is doing a good job of mixing his throws to home plate. Slide stepping every now and then. Lifting his leg a little bit higher at times. Throwing over to first base. But yeah, Red Sox have the scouting reports on Molina and how well he has thrown this year.
And they're ultra sensitive to the stolen base. No balls and a strike to Kevin Youkilis. Scudero at first. Swing and a line drive into right field over the glove of Aaron Hill. Scudero around second. He's headed for third. Wells gets the ball back in. Youkilis stops at second. A 2-out double on the line drive of Kevin Youkilis. Now it's second and third.
Youkilis is such a clutch hitter. When he senses that the pitcher is in trouble a little bit, he goes into thinking about going the other way. And he does and picks up a double. Scudero is frozen on the pickoff attempt. And he comes around third base and he cannot score.
7th double of the season for Kevin Youkilis. The 5th hit for the Red Sox. 1 run in this inning. A sac fly by Dustin Pedroia drove home Darnell McDonald. J.D. Drew bats with 2 outs, second and third. Breaking ball down and away. Blue Jays defensively continue to play Drew to pull, even against the left-hander. They expect him to pull it on the ground. You see the 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. 1 ball, no strikes. Inside off the plate. Josh Renicky, fresh up from AAA, begins to loosen up. And now it looks like Casey Jansen's going to join him. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. There's a strike. Big point of the ball game, obviously. The Red Sox have already scored 1. Brett Cecil with a chance to minimize the damage here and get out of this inning. Euclid at second, Scudero at third. Well, good job by Brett Cecil. Scudero had broken all the way down the line. There's nobody close to him to hold him close. You can see John McDonald way over by the shortstop position.
Watch what he tries to do against Brett Cecil. Act like he's trying to steal home. A lot of times young pitchers will freeze.
Right at the shortstop, Gonzalez. The shift paid off again as they had Drew defended perfectly. But the Red Sox break through. They score the first run of the ball game. It's 1-0 Boston, middle of the sixth. Plus locations for tickets. The second Junior Jays Saturday of the season. Come on out and watch the Green and Gold Athletics as they're in town for a 4-game series. The front-running Green and Gold Athletics off to a great start. Oakland 12-9 lead the American League West by a game and a half. Jose Molina leads things off here in the sixth.
We got to figure out how to get to John Lester. He's on a roll right now, and now he has the lead.
12 straight retired by the Boston left-hander. 1-0 Red Sox.
You know, another thing that the Blue Jays have to figure out is how to hit some left-handed pitching. They've come into this game hitting under 200 as a team versus left-handed.
You know, that's pretty universal. Around baseball, I think the American League's hitting about 230 against left-handed pitching. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Molina. In there for a strike.
Just a couple of years ago, the Blue Jays had the best average against left-handed pitching in the American League.
Well, and you see guys like John Lester and David Price and CC Sabathia right on the corner, 3-2. Molina didn't think so. He's talking it over with Marty Foster, the home plate umpire. Of course, he's been back there all night long, has a good idea what the strike zone is. He didn't like the call.
Just off the plate.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. Jose Molina has gotten some key hits in these situations to start an inning late in the game. Had a base hit against Tampa Bay to get on base. Just, you know, he hadn't been able to get a lot of hits, but boy, he's gotten some big ones. Had a 2 RBI game against the Orioles. Another full count pitch. John Lester takes too much time and backs off. Got a piece of it, stays alive. You just have to think that if Molina should get on base, we might see Fred Lewis come on to pinch run, maybe just trying to disrupt things a bit. The Red Sox have not thrown anybody out all year, basically. Lewis on the bench with Adam Lind, left-handers, getting the night off with John Lester on the mound. On the ground towards short. Scudero has plenty of time, and Molina's retired.
Boy, the righties just can't keep that cutting fastball off their hands. A lot of ground ball outs now. There's only been 2 balls hit in the air off of John Lester. That was by Hill and Bautista in the 4th inning. That's it.
Hard to get that bowling ball airborne. Heavy sinker, wicked cutter. John McDonald with 1 out. Cut on and fouled out of play. We had talked about it in the open, how John Lester had gotten off to a rocky start, but last time out starting to show signs things were turning around for him, and this kind of validates that.
And when I talked to some of the Red Sox people, I asked them what has been the problem with John Lester this year. They said his stuff is still there. He has just been missing his spots just a little bit here, a little bit off the plate, a little bit off inside or up or whatever. But you could tell he started coming out of it in that last start, pitching into the 6th inning and having 7 strikeouts versus the Orioles. 1 red flag in that game, though. He did walk 4 batters. Tonight, the leadoff batter, and that's been it.
It's only allowed 2 base runners. McCoy walked into first. Wells doubled into second. 1-2 pitch to McDonald. Fouled out of play. Obviously, just try to get something going, get a guy on, get him back in the stretch, whatever you can to take him out of this rhythm. He's retired 13 straight now.
That was the big thing, just limiting them to 1 run in the top of the inning.
Huge.
Because the tying run comes to the plate every time.
Down and in. 2-2 on John McDonald. 1-0 here, bottom of the 6th inning. Dustin Pedroia with the sac fly has driven in the only run of the game. That came in the 6th. Cut on and missed. McDonald goes down swinging. 8 strikeouts for John Lester.
Fastball, and he's just going to attack the outside part of the plate. John McDonald just battling and trying to fight this ball off, but he comes up empty.
That'll turn the lineup over for the leadoff batter, Mike McCoy. One of the 2 to reach base tonight against Lester. Good thought. Trying to get on board. He bunted it, but bunted it foul.
Blue Jays were out here early today working on their bunting. McCoy being one of them, trying to get the ball down, trying something to get on base.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent the way the Blue Jays work early. They do a lot of work prior to batting practice. No balls and a strike outside, 1-1.
Working on the sacrifice bunt, working on the drag bunt. That time it looked like McCoy is just trying to push the ball to Dustin Pedroia, the second baseman.
Pulled on the ground, foul. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. John Lester working into the 6th. Down and in. That's 2-2. John Lester has faced just one over the minimum. He walked Mike McCoy in the first, but then picked him off. Three and two. 2 outs. McCoy trying to get on against John Lester in this one-run ball game. Third one-run ball game of the series. 3-2 from Lester. He walked him.
That was a good at-bat right there by Mike McCoy. A couple of borderline pitches, and he took them. And he coaxed another walk out of John Lester. Second time that he has done that.
That snaps a streak of 14 straight retired by the Red Sox left-hander. So now here you are. One of the strengths of the Blue Jays, the long ball.
And some strength with McCoy at first base. He can run. Jason Varitek this year is 0 for 11 trying to throw out base runners.
Slide step down and in to Aaron Hill. Blue Jays lead the majors in home runs. 100 pitches on the nose for John Lester. Unfortunately, I see no signs of fatigue.
Nobody warming up either for the Red Sox.
Breaking ball for a strike. Aaron Hill just 2 for 19 against John Lester. One count on the Blue Jays second baseman. Mike McCoy takes his lead at first. Down and in, almost hit Hill.
Varitek sets up on the inner half. Aaron Hill slides that back foot out just in time before he gets plunked with that pitch.
Well, and that's the sign of a good pitcher, too. If you're going to miss, you're not going to miss over the plate. You're going to miss where a hitter can't hit it. Going to first.
McCoy has not had a good read on Lester the 2 times that he has been on base against him. Each time that John Lester has picked up that front foot, he has moved back towards first base. That is not that aggressive of a lead. Still leaning.
Well, Lester falls behind Aaron Hill 3-1. Again, the slide step may have robbed him of some command. So there's the impact of the threat of a steal. He falls behind a good power hitter in Aaron Hill. 3-1, 2 outs. Good cut. 3-2. Daniel Bard loosening up. We mentioned Lester over 100 pitches now. 3-2, 2 outs. Youkilis keeping McCoy close. He'll be off on the pitch. Tapped foul at the plate. You can see how late McCoy broke from first. He had to make sure that
don't get picked off.
Lester was going to the plate.
Yeah, let Aaron Hill swing the bat. They've got to send him in motion. 3-2, 2 outs. Just don't get picked off. Here's the foul by Aaron Hill right off that front shoulder.
Well, anything hit to the outfield, McCoy's got to be thinking about scoring from first. A 1-run game, 1-0 Boston. He'll ask for time and steps out. 3-2, 2 outs. Breaking ball, strike 3. Lester dropped the breaking ball on Aaron Hill, and he was caught looking. 9 strikeouts for John Lester.
Sixth inning, gives up 5 hits, just the 1 earned run, and that was manufactured by the Boston Red Sox on the sacrifice fly. Just 1 walk again, just like his last start against the Tampa Bay Rays. 1 walk and even 100 pitches, and now the bullpen comes out. Casey Jansen will be the first one to come out. Jansen worked in that game on Monday, that wild 13-12 game. His numbers inflated a little bit after that one. An inning in the third, gave up 4 hits and 2 runs. He actually pitched better than his numbers, I think, indicate. I remember a couple of pitches that he made, excellent pitches, that the Red Sox were able to bloop into the outfield for base hits.
Catcher Jason Varitek takes the ball inside off the plate for ball 1. Varitek has walked in, popped up. Good pitch right in on his hands.
Varitek in that game that we were just talking about on Monday, 13-12, did something that's only been done twice before by a Red Sox catcher.
Popped up behind second. Shortstop Alex Gonzalez makes the catch.
Varitek, 38 years old, and in that game, 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. The only 2 older catchers to have done that for the Red Sox have been Carlton Fisk and Tony Pena. So still producing. Jason Varitek.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat well all season long. He's got 4 home runs and 8 RBIs early on. 1 out now for Adrian Beltre. First pitch strike. Breaking ball off the plate, 1-1. You can see Jansen is pretty motivated tonight, wanting to get a chance after that tough outing on Monday. This bullpen has pitched very well. Last couple of times out, they've had some rough outings, but over the course of the season, they've thrown the ball fairly well. And now they've got a couple of new fresh arms down there, and Rami Lewis and Josh Renicky. 1-1 to Beltre. fouled straight back.
Yeah, I think as a group, the relievers want to go out there and kind of prove that they are better than what they have done over the last few ball games. First 10, outstanding, 3-2 with an ERA of about 3. Look what has happened in the last few. Opponents' batting average is up over 340, an ERA of 8. They are much better than that.
Down the right field line, that is a fair ball right on the line. Beltre around first base. The ball bounces out of play, and he'll be credited with a ground rule double.
On Monday night, Adrian Beltre was one of those batters that I was talking about that got to Casey Jansen, even though he threw a great pitch down and away, and he broke his bat and got a ball into the outfield for a base hit. This is a pretty good pitch right here from Casey Jansen. Down and away, he makes him reach for it, kind of a half swing, and he places it just down the right field line, and actually looks like it hits the chalk down there and bounces into the stands for a ground rule double.
With Beltre at second and 1 out in this 1-0 ball game, Terry Francona has gone to his bench, and he's sent up Jeremy Hermida to bat for Bill Hall. Hermida started in left field last night, drove in a run in the second inning to tie the score at 1-1. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning of the first game, went 0 for 2 on Monday. So he's on to face Casey Jansen. Takes the first pitch strike. Inside. Interesting, too, with David Ortiz on the bench. Jeremy Hermida is the pinch hitter in this situation with a chance to drive in a run.
Hermida leads the team in 2-out RBIs.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike to the pinch hitter, Jeremy Hermida.
He has generated 10 RBIs on just 12 hits this year. There's David Ortiz sitting on the bench. I guess Terry Francona does not want to burn 3 players for one position. He'd need a defensive replacement then in left field if he hit Big Poppy for Hall.
Tap toward third. McDonald unloads in a hurry, makes a fine play. Boy, the quick hands of John McDonald really paid off. That was a tough play, and he unloaded in a hurry.
It's the transfer that's so impressive with Johnny Mack at third base or shortstop or second, wherever he plays. Watch how he comes in. He's going to set his feet quickly, and the transfer from glove to hand and then over to first base is very impressive.
That ball barely touched his glove before it was on its way to first. Big defensive play. Beltre moves to third. Darnell McDonald had a double against Jansen on Monday night. Off the plate outside. McDonald had a double in his last at bat to left center. Came in to score the only run of the game on the sac fly by Dustin Pedroia. Popped up, foul territory down the right field line. Bautista on the run, and nobody's going to be able to get there. Nobody could catch that ball. So McDonald bats with 2 outs.
This is a funny play. Watch it hit off the fan, and before it hits the ground, Lyle Overbay catches it and quickly asks the first base umpire, is that a catch? Never hit the ground.
Gary Cedarstrom right there. And then the fan drops it again. 1-1 to Darnell McDonald. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. It's 1-0 Boston here in the top of the 7th. Brett Cecil, the starting pitcher, 6 good innings. Casey Jansen on in relief. Three balls and a strike. Base hit, left field. Beltre scores. It's 2-0. Darnell McDonald has scored one and now driven in one.
And those 2-out RBIs make the job of the manager a lot easier. He'll play the run from third base, gets himself into a good hitter's count, and then rips it right between Gonzalez and McDonald, the third baseman. Beltre trots home with the second run.
Trying to go away with that breaking ball, got a little bit too much of the plate, and McDonald hit it hard. 2-0 Red Sox. Scudero takes a strike. Scudero 2 for 3 tonight. Pair of singles. Darnell McDonald delivers a 2-out RBI single to left to put the Red Sox up 2-0. Close play at first. Quick tag by Overbay, and McDonald barely got back.
McDonald doesn't know how quick Casey Jansen is over at first base. He's got a very aggressive lead. There's the quick throw. If it could have been more towards the corner of the bag, I think they would have had him.
No balls and a strike to Scudero. Another dive back. This time much easier for McDonald to get back. Darnell McDonald doesn't have a steal this year. Strike 2 on the corner. 0-2 to Scudero.
You mentioned McDonald doesn't have a stolen base. He doesn't have an attempt. He might attempt one now. With Scudero in the hole, 0-2 and 2 outs.
7th inning. Red Sox have scored a run on McDonald's RBI single to left. It's 2-0 Boston. In the dirt, Molina quickly to his feet. I'm with you. I'm a little surprised McDonald has been anchored at first. Good time to gamble with leadoff batter up there.
Yeah, you get thrown out, and Marco Scudero will lead off the next inning. He can run. He's playing some center field, so you got to figure that he can run a little bit.
Sharply hit at McDonald, goes to second for the force out, and Jansen gets out of it. But the Red Sox score a run, a 2-out base hit by Darnell McDonald. John Lester coming back for the bottom of the 7th. John Lester jumps ahead of Jose Bautista with a strike. 2-0 Red Sox lead it. Jays hitting here in the 7th. One hit allowed by John Lester. That was a leadoff double to Vernon Wells way back in the 2nd. Way outside. A ball and a strike.
He has thrown a no-hitter, John Lester, in his career. He did it a couple of years ago versus the Kansas City Royals. So I don't want to say this is nothing new, but he has just pitched well here in Toronto in his career.
Well, he has really done a good job here tonight, and he's used all of his pitches. Veritek's done a great job. For his career, he's 4-3. This is his 10th career start against the Blue Jays. Off-speed pitch. Bautista way out in front. It's pretty good when you can throw an 85-mile-an-hour changeup.
To go along with a 95-mile-an-hour cutter or a fastball, curveball, you can spot both of the pitches. I was watching him warm up in between innings, and he's still darting and hitting his spots on both corners.
2-2 to Bautista. He struck him out. 10 strikeouts now for the Red Sox left-hander John Lester.
As a hitter, it's hard to gauge what he's going to try and throw up there. This time he gets him with a curveball for another strikeout. 10 on the night.
Up and away, one of the few times we've seen Lester really come out of his delivery. He's been so smooth and effective all night long. One hit, 10 strikeouts. Right on the inside corner, 1-1.
What he has done tonight, fan 10 or more batters while limiting opponents to 1 run or less on 3 hits or fewer. He did that 3 consecutive times last year. He got himself into a groove right around the end of May last year. Put together 3 really strong starts.
Wells lays off an outside pitch. 2 balls and a strike. We have seen some impressive performances from left-handers. Ricky Romero, 8 innings, 1 hit, 12 strikeouts. John Danks, a great start. David Price, a 4-hit shutout. Popped up right side of the diamond, drifting into foul territory. Youkilis Veritek. Youkilis almost overran the ball, but makes the catch. Join us on Rogers Sportsnet this weekend as the Jays take on the Oakland Athletics. The series starts on Thursday, April 29th through Sunday, May 2nd. For tickets, call 416-341-1234 or log on to BlueJays.com or stop in most Rogers Plus locations. You can get tickets. The first place Oakland Athletics here over the weekend. 4-game series. 2 outs now for Lyle Overbay. Strike 1. A familiar refrain for John Lester tonight. He has been ahead all night long. Oh, 0-2. But you see Lester tonight, and this is basically how Ricky Romero was against the White Sox.
Yeah.
Everything was working. Curveball was snapping. Just the one mistake to Alex Rios cost him a potential no-hitter. But Romero's been here before. Off the plate.
We'll be able to watch him tomorrow in that game. He is just like Lester, like you said. He had all 4 of his pitches working. Great changeup. Good breaking ball that had the right-handers giving up on it. Dominant performance.
Inside corner. Front door breaking ball from John Lester, and he can do just about anything he wants to tonight. 11 strikeouts, 2 in the 7th inning from John Lester, and he gets Lyle Overbay. that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Josh Renicky on for his first appearance of the 2010 season, just up from AAA.
Spring training, and he had an ERA just over 4, was sent out after his 5 spring games. But when he went to Las Vegas, something clicked. Reports on him was he was pitching very well. The numbers point that out. Just 1 walk and 8 strikeouts for Renicky while he was down there. He throws hard. He's got a very good arm, good fastball, and a good curveball. Saw it last year with the Blue Jays. When he came over from the Cincinnati Reds in that trade, he actually averaged more than a strikeout an inning.
Yeah, Renicky was a multi-sport athlete, played football at UCLA, played in the outfield, so he's just now really getting a feel for pitching. First batter he'll face will be Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia had a sac fly in the 6th, drove in the first run of the ball game. Good movement on that first pitch strike. Casey Jansen pitched an inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. Oh, and 2. Josh Renicky and Rami Lewis both came up at the same time and got here before last night's game about 4 p.m. Did not appear in the game last night. Pretty good pitch. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, when I spoke to Renicky when he arrived yesterday, he said he's really just starting to come into his own now. Did not get a lot of work in spring training, and so getting down to Vegas and getting into a lot of innings, including 4 multi-inning appearances, he's really starting to find it now, and here we are late in April.
Breaking ball got away from him and missed inside 2-2. Well, I think the challenge for a young pitcher, especially somebody new in the organization, is to have the coaching staff understand what you're all about. And now he's a little more well known here in his second go round with the Blue Jays. Struck out Pedroia. No tag. There's the throw to first base, and Pedroia's retired 2-3 on the putout.
I think his role is defined. You're going to be in the bullpen because you've got a big arm. When he was with the Cincinnati Reds, there was talk over there that maybe someday he could become a closer because he throws so hard and he's got a good strikeout pitch, a curveball.
Renicky has good genes. His father, Gary Renicky, was an outfielder for a long time on those great Oriole teams, and his dad's now a scout for Baltimore. Victor Martinez, the DH, 0 for 3 tonight. 2-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. Down the left field line, but slicing out of play.
Terry Francona looking for anything out of their DH right now at this point. It has really been a spot that they haven't had to worry about for years and years and years with David Ortiz and some of the other great hitters that they have had. But right now, they are just not getting a lot of production out of their DH.
Fastball upstairs. The DH for the Red Sox has driven in a total of 6 runs. That is last in the American League.
Hard to believe,
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always such a strength for them, as that DH role. And it's been David Ortiz for the last several seasons. The breaking ball in there, a ball and 2 strikes on Victor Martinez. We're in the 8th. Red Sox scored a single run in the 6th, had a second in the 7th. Brett Cecil, a very good start, went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits and a single run. walked the batter and struck out 3. 1-2 to Martinez. Just off the plate inside. Pretty good looking pitch.
Yeah. He froze that left-handed hitter there, but it was just high.
Fouled into the glove. Victor Martinez is appealing. The ball hit to dirt. Marty Foster said no, he caught it straight out. Martinez not going to give up the argument, but he's going to lose it. Second strikeout for Renicky.
He'll just have to go in and see the replay and know that that ball was caught by Molina right there.
That ball bounced. The ball hit the dirt. Martinez sensed that it hit the dirt. Molina sold it to the umpire. 2 strikeouts. Kevin Youkilis takes a pitch inside. Youkilis with a double to the gap in right center in the 6th inning. That put runners at second and third and set up the sac fly. Actually came after the sac fly. Put runners at second and third, and then Cecil was able to get J.D. Drew to line out to the shortstop to end that threat. 1 ball, 1 strike. Popped up into right field. Jose Bautista. 3 up, 3 down for Josh Renicky, his first inning of work this season.
Career high.
Did a great job of stranding that 1 hit. Vernon Wells led off the 2nd inning. Moved to third base on the ground out. And then with Wells at third, less than 2 outs, he struck out Gonzalez and struck out Randy Ruiz. That was the only threat the Jays could mount against John Lester. Daniel Bard comes on. He pitched in Monday's game, his 12th appearance of the season here tonight.
The Red Sox have had to go to their bullpen a lot. So in yesterday's game, Jonathan Papelbon, Daniel Bard, and Hideki Okajima were not available. Did not pitch, didn't need to, with Clay Buchholz going 8 innings. Tonight they are fresh and ready to go.
Ripped into center field. McDonald on the run, and he's not going to get it. Hits at the base of the wall in center. Gonzalez motoring into second. He has a stand-up double to start the 8th. anybody looks better than John Lester.
Yeah. Get him out of the game. Bard's got a fastball that can hit triple digits, so he'll supply the power as long as you get the head of the bat out. And that's exactly what Alex Gonzalez does as he drives that ball over the head of Darnell McDonald off the base of the wall for a leadoff double.
Scudero and Gonzalez, great friends, teammates in Venezuela during the winter, exchanging a little bit of hitting.
You know, getting Lester out of the game, now Cito Gaston can go to his left-handed hitters.
Yeah, he's got Lynn coming up. Lynn will hit for Randy Ruiz. Still has Snyder and Lewis on the bench. Fred Lewis has already grabbed the bat and he's loosening up. He'll bat for Jose Molina. Good rip back over the backstop. Not wasting any time. Adam Lynn did not start tonight against John Lester. Alex Gonzalez got it going, the leadoff double off Daniel Bard, who just entered the game.
We have a thing called the spray chart, and we're going to use it here with Adam Lind. Shows you the direction of his hits, and we've talked about how strong he is going the other way. Just 3 hits to left field, 3 to center. Most of his hits this year have come from the pull variety.
Cut on and missed, the ball and 2 strikes.
I think part of that has to do with the pitchers now changing the way that they are pitching to Adam Lind. They know that he can handle that ball away from him with authority and with power. So they have been crowding him a lot this year.
It's a constant adjustment for both the pitchers and the hitters. Bard ahead, a ball and 2 strikes on the pinch hitter, Adam Lind. He struck him out. 98 miles an hour with the fastball, gets the strikeout.
Another one of those Boston pitchers with a nice free and easy delivery. And rushes it up there at the top of the strike zone for a strikeout. 98.
Now Fred Lewis will come on as a pinch hitter. He'll bat for Jose Molina. Down and in for a ball. Lewis was 1 for 5 last night. Had 2 hits in the opener on Monday night. 2-0 Red Sox. Alex Gonzalez doubled. He's at second. Ball 2. Red Sox have scored a single run in the 6th. They've added a single run in the 7th. John Lester with 7 innings of 1-hit ball. Two balls and no strikes. 2-1. Lester walked 2 batters and struck out 11. Daniel Bard has a strikeout in this inning. Up and away. 3 balls and a strike. John McDonald's on deck. Three and 2.
Such a nice, easy delivery. 98. How do you generate 98 miles an hour with that slow delivery like that?
Lots of leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Bard 6'4". Travis Snyder has a bat. Should he get called upon? 3 balls, 2 strikes to Fred Lewis, the pinch hitter. He struck him out.
What a weapon to have come out of your bullpen after a leadoff double. There's Travis Snyder, who's going to take his shot at it. A weapon that you can come in if you make a mistake and give up a double. You have the ability to strike out the next 2 batters. And now it's going to be power versus power.
Travis Snyder will come off the bench, the 3rd pinch hitter in a row. Lynn came on to face Bard. He struck out. Lewis came on to face Bard. He struck out. Travis Snyder going to try to do some damage here. Gonzalez with the leadoff double. He's still at second. First pitch strike. Bard's just 24 years old. Quickly made it through the system. It's only his 4th professional season. 0-1 to Snyder. Off-speed pitch had him way out in front, and he loses the grip on the bat. He did that last night, and the bat went into the seats. This time it goes way down the right field line. Quickly, let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, guys, that's a new bat. Travis Snyder was hitting with a 35-inch, 33-ounce black maple bat. Decided to go a little bit shorter, 34.5, and a 32-ounce ash bat, going back to the old school. So that one seems a little tougher to hang on to.
Well, he's got the bat all pine-tarred up now. You got to battle Daniel Bard. Bard ahead 0-2. 2 outs. Gonzalez steals 3rd. Field and Cobra said no swing. Snyder checked in time. So Gonzalez steals 3rd base. 2 outs now. Runner at 3rd. Inside, 2-2. Strike 3 called. Daniel Bard gives up a leadoff double and then reaches back for a little extra. and moves over to third. John McDonald was lifted for the pinch hitter Travis Snyder, and John Buck comes off the bench to catch. So Cito Gaston has unloaded his bench, and Rami Lewis making his major league debut.
He was originally drafted by the Baltimore Orioles in the June 2001 draft. He was a 4th-round draft pick by the Orioles. Played in 2001. Started in the minor league system. Worked his way up. It took him a few years to get up to the higher elevations of the minor leagues. But then came over to the Blue Jays. They signed him last January as a free agent.
J.D. Drew takes a fastball inside. There's a strike, 1-1.
Lewis has a good arm. Good sink to his fastball. He's got good movement through the strike zone. Good slider. Jays wanted to see him up here, see what he can do at the big league level.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. He's 6'6". Throws from a closed stance. Got to be difficult to pick up the baseball. Pitches out of the set position. Foul back, 2-2. Cito Gaston liked what he saw from Lewis in the spring. And an opportunity for him. And after he was sent back, they called him back on 2 or 3 different occasions to pitch in games, even though he'd been sent to the minor league camp. They just wanted to get extended looks at Rami Lewis. Breaking ball just hung inside.
I got to see him a couple of times when we were down there the last week of spring training, and did not look like he was intimidated. Looked like he belonged. Jay's really wanting to have that second left-hander in that bullpen. That's another reason why they made the deal.
3-2 to Drew. On the ground. Second base Aaron Hill makes the play, and Rami Lewis retires J.D. Drew, the first batter he's faced in the big leagues. Jonathan Papelbon, the closer, in this 2-0 game, loosening up. Daniel Bard came in to pitch the 8th in relief of John Lester. Struck out the side after the leadoff double to Gonzalez. Jason Varitek. Breaking ball outside. There's a strike with the fastball. Pop straight back. A ball and 2 strikes. Jason Varitek bats. Red Sox are up 2-0 here, top of the 9th inning. Brett Cecil, John Lester matched zeros through 5 innings.
Let's see what kind of slider you have right here.
Cued on the end of the bat. Rami Lewis tags at Varitek. Gary Cedarstrom calls Varitek out. Varitek questioning whether or not he was tagged. He didn't touch me. That's what he said. Turned back to Cedarstrom, said he never touched me, and Lewis kind of reached at him with the glove. But 2 quick outs here for Rami Lewis.
Showing some athleticism getting off the mound. Let's see if he touches them. maybe he gets a little bit of leather on the back. See his uniform move a little bit?
Yeah, it did move, and it certainly looked like he might have got him. Searstrom was in pretty good position to make the play. 2 down now for Rami Lewis. Adrian Beltre. Breaking ball inside. So Rami Lewis making his major league debut here tonight in this 2-0 game has retired J.D. Drew and Jason Varitek. Right back in there with a fastball.
A fastball, 93 miles an hour from a left-hander. That's something that every team's going to need. We were talking to Bruce Walton about having that second left-hander in that bullpen. Makes Cito Gaston's job a little bit easier.
There's a base hit into center. Beltre. His second hit of the night. Big turnaround first, and he'll stop. Rami Lewis gives up his first big league hit to a pretty good player.
He's had a pretty good series, Adrian Beltre. 2 more hits tonight.
6 for 12 on the series. A double and scored in the 7th, and now the 2-out single here in the 9th. Mike Lowell off the bench, called upon to pinch hit here for Jeremy Hermida. Mike Lowell came on as a pinch hitter in last night's game in the 8th inning. Kevin Gregg was then summoned out of the bullpen, and he would walk Lowell with the bases loaded. Forced in the go-ahead, eventually winning run. Cut on and foul back. 94, a little bit extra on that fastball.
Reaching back just a little bit more. Mike Lowell was saying after yesterday's game, that at bat, he said, you come in there against a tough pitcher who has been tough on him before, and you just battle him, and he just happened to win that one.
Another foul back. 94 again. Rami Lewis showing he's got a little in reserve should he need it.
Well, you got to figure that the adrenaline is really pumping for a kid who is getting his first taste of big league life right here. That there might be a little bit more on that fastball.
0-2 to the pinch hitter Mike Lowell. A courtesy toss to first. Rami Lewis started his professional career in 2002. Here we are in 2010, and he's getting his first major league opportunity. Strikes out Mike Lowell. Good breaking ball down and in. First major league strikeout. Mike Lowell, the former World Series MVP. Good inning for Rami. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. Music provided by Universal Canada. We're headed to the bottom of the ninth. Red Sox up 2-0. Jonathan Van Embry comes on defensively in left field. And Jonathan Papelbon comes out of the bullpen, trying to protect this 2-0 lead.
This is set up pretty nicely for Terry Francona, with John Lester being able to get 7 innings out of him and his 11 strikeouts, barred with the 8th inning, and now Jonathan Papelbon, the closer for the Boston Red Sox. One problem that he has had this year is the base on balls. Look at that. He has as many walks as strikeouts. He's a strikeout pitcher. Good fastball, good split. Picked up the save Monday night here in that 1-run ball game.
Top of the order for the Jays here in the bottom of the ninth. Mike McCoy's been on base twice. John Lester walked him. Once in the first, once in the 6th. On the corner, 1-1. Jays looking for a bloop and a blast. Get back in the game.
How about 2 bloops and a blast and walk off?
Need a base runner here against Jonathan Papelbon. Down and away. McCoy thought it was off the plate. Now he's got to battle Papelbon.
He'll throw an occasional slider every now and then, but he's mostly hard stuff. Hard fastball. He'll sink it and use a splitter that Kurt Schilling helped him refine a couple of years ago for strikeouts.
That's off the plate. 2-2 to leadoff batter Mike McCoy. In that save on Monday, Papelbon faced 3 batters. He had a 1-2-3 inning. He struck out Travis Snyder, then got Lewis and Hill. In the right field, J.D. Drew on the run and makes the catch. Stay tuned right after the ball game for Connected. Join Brandon Montine. You'll see the Jays post-game show, the Canadians and Capitals Game 7 recap up next right here on the Rogers Sportsnet. One out for Aaron Hill now. He steps in. 0 for 3 tonight. So fastball for a strike. Blue Jays held to just 2 hits. A double by Vernon Wells in the 2nd, and a double by Alex Gonzalez in the 8th. Both leadoff doubles, neither cashed in. Cut on 0-2. Well, the last 2 nights, the Red Sox have gotten outstanding starting pitching. Clay Buchholz going 8 last night. Jonathan Lester with 7 outstanding innings of 1-hit pitching. No balls, 2 strikes. He struck him out. Off-speed pitch.
3rd time tonight that Aaron Hill has gone down. 15th time a Blue Jay has struck out tonight. This looks like the splitter. Off speed, and it goes down. Slider. That's a breaking ball.
A lot of depth to that breaking ball. 2 outs now. Jose Bautista will try to keep it alive.
This is our first look at the Red Sox this year, and it's a different type of team. They said they were going to build their team on starting pitching. play good defense, and have a deep bullpen, and that's what we have seen in this whole series.
We didn't see John Lackey in the series. Daisuke Matsuzaka will rejoin the staff on Saturday. Way outside. And the Red Sox are still missing two key players in their makeup. Mike Cameron, the center fielder, and Jacoby Ellsbury, the left fielder, both on the disabled list. A ball and a strike to Jose Bautista. Way outside, 2-1. Ellsbury getting better. He's got 4 fractured ribs, suffered in a collision with the third baseman Adrian Beltre. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Foul out of play. 2-2. John Lester went 7. Daniel Bard came in for the 8th. Gave up a leadoff double to Alex Gonzalez and then struck out 3 consecutive pinch hitters. Adam Lim, Fred Lewis, and Travis Snyder. Skied to left. Van Every makes the catch, and the Red Sox win it. Boston sweeps the series. They get 2 terrific starts. Game 2, Clay Buchholz tonight, John Lester. 2-0 Red Sox. Stay tuned for Connected.